I'm just going to introduce you, Ulrieke.
Yeah.
This is the Salt Spring Arts Council's third live stream. We've been doing this during the time of social distancing just to give ourselves a chance to get into artist studios. We will probably just do one more, and that will be with Joan Kerrigan. Can you turn your volume down, Ulrieke?
I'm not moving around.
Can you turn your volume down?
I'm going inside. Is that better?
Okay. Yeah. Why don't you show us the inside of the studio?
Oh, you said already everything. Okay. Okay, this was the front door, and probably you heard a little bit of a car or something. Okay. So yeah, so this is the entrance. I have a few smaller rooms. You come into originally a corridor, and if you go to the right, you come into one of my showrooms. Yeah.
So Ulrieke, how long have you been in this studio space?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah. 2 years and a tiny bit.
And do you find that being downtown is good?
Yeah, I like it. I really was ready for a change.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I loved my places I had. They were just gorgeous, but I don't know. I felt like I wanted to be more visible or more out there again with, you know, it got a little too quiet for me.
Right.
Yeah.
So for anybody that's watching, if you're having trouble seeing the studio with all the questions, you can delete the questions off of your screen so that they don't interfere with your vision. We've tried flipping it so that Ulrieke would be at the top, but we haven't been able to do that. So
no, I've seen that with other Instagram interviews, and this seems to be the setup.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bit of a drag, really, but
yeah, it is. Anyway, so now I'm in my studio. This is my studio.
Mm-hmm.
This is the biggest room. I have a 4x10 table in here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's practically the size when I make very big shawls. These pieces shrink about a third. So a third in the width and a third in the length. And I mean, I'm very sorry that I have a white piece on here. It took so much longer to work it, and I couldn't get it off. I would have liked to have something colorful and maybe something that you can see better. Yeah, on here, and well, I just had to go with the flow.
So is that Nuno felting? Is that silk with fleece on?
Yeah, the base here is a silk pongé, a China silk. Also depends. I mean, there are different ways of, but it's very similar to shiny silk.
Mm-hmm.
And I have I took the time. I'd always wanted to work with these wool locks, and then I didn't take the time, or just for small pieces. So I'm showing you here on this pile. I'm showing you Cotswold lamb locks, actually 2020. Let me see. I'm just Cotswold lamb 2020 from Margaret Thompson from North Beach Road.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and this is just from a lamb from this year, and yeah, you can see it, right? So this is how I got it, and it's very beautiful. But this way, I mean, on a shawl like that, I can't do this like that. So I had to kind of feather it out. So this is how it's feathered out.
Right.
And then also a little bit more of the little bits of grass fall out. So that's good. So I made quite a few piles. I had actually 250 grams of this. That's quite a bit. And so I have I mean, I can see it really well on my camera.
Yeah, we can see it. So Ulrieke, there's a question here.
Oh yeah.
Do you have a completed piece in the style of the project on the table so people can see how
Yes,
it
I do.
finishes?
Thank you for the question.
Mm-hmm.
This is a triangle scarf in this, let me see, in this style. And you see, yeah, you can see it, right? You can see the locks, and I have also
Can you
my confetti. Yeah, I'm really stretching my arm. Let me see.
put that on
Yeah,
the
oh, you can
mannequin
see it
so
better.
we can see it from a distance?
Yeah, yeah, I can. Okay.
It might help to kind of get a sense of
Yeah,
the
it's a good
shape of
idea.
the thing.
I'm very happy to have some help here because this is the first time. Well, this is not really a mannequin,
Yeah.
but it's I mean, a poncho, and I just put it over. You see
Oh,
that?
I see.
So yeah, and so you see the curls,
Mm-hmm.
triangle, and then there's also some silk roaster that gives a beautiful sheen.
Oh, yeah, it's
And then
beautiful.
this side is the pongé, the silk pongé or China silk,
Ah,
and you know when it's flat, and you can still see it flat in its original way where the squares are,
yeah.
and when when the wool shrinks through the fabric, then I get with every different fabric I get a different texture. So with
Wow.
this one I get this kind of texture.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, this is not the original color. Um, you know, I've worked for many years with Cheryl Hooseby,
Mm-hmm.
and she does. We have some signature colors, and so she does this dyeing, the overall dyeing for me for bigger pieces, or sometimes for base fabrics. And this is a new color, and we called it mink.
Oh, very nice.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that a natural dye or a synthetic
No,
dye?
no, she
Yeah.
doesn't. No, she doesn't use natural. She does experiment with them, but she doesn't do that for me. No.
So what is the finished size of that doll?
Of what? Which one?
The one you just showed us. What is the size of that?
Ah, that's a good question.
Okay. Well, you did say it's about a third of the size of the table. So is that
No,
like,
no, no. This one is a triangle.
oh, okay. Okay. I thought it was the same as I see.
No, no, no. This is just a triangle.
Uh-huh. Got it.
So you see, no,
Great.
this is just it's a little bit bigger around the neck.
Great.
So it
So
depends.
do you
See?
mix the
Mm-hmm.
yarns or the fleece, or do you use all one kind of fleece?
I use I'm just showing a little bit while I talk. I mainly use merino wool, fine
Mm-hmm.
merino wool, and if I use white, which I over dye very often, so this is the roving I use. Yeah, it's on the table. Um, this is a combination of silk and merino wool, and I can order the percentage of silk and merino in the roving.
I see.
Yeah.
So when you have a blend of silk and wool, it must be lighter to
Oh
wear.
yeah, yes, it is. First of all, it has a sheen, and then it is also a little bit lighter than just merino. Although merino over the last few years has we can get way better quality, a much finer micron of than when I started. So
So where do you order that from? And have you had a challenge ordering it with COVID?
this one I ordered last year. I ordered 2 kilograms, I think, from England. That's a company called World of Wool. And then I order a lot from Artgus in Quebec, and that is a company that is a distributor of DHA Gallery in Prato, Italy. And yeah,
Mm,
I ordered actually during the COVID, from her,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it took the regular time.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So how are you dealing with your studio hours this summer for visitors? Have you thought about how you're going to manage that?
Um, yeah, I will open. Yeah, not completely irregular hours. I will adjust. I'm open by appointment or anytime, and I'm because it's a working studio. Of course, I will be here
Okay,
most of the time. Right
right.
now, I have assigned outside private sessions by request, and also one-on-one or two people for workshops.
Okay, so you won't be doing your regular workshops at, say, Art Spring or.
Yeah, I do those normally anyways in the winter,
Okay.
in the fall, and in the spring. So the bigger groups, because also Art Spring, and yeah, and normally I'm very busy. So
So you've just missed your spring workshops because of COVID, but otherwise you're
yeah, I
carrying
did.
on.
Yeah, I did, and also for some other reasons, I did miss a few.
Right.
Yeah. And what I normally do now, what I did last year, I had small workshops in my
Mm-hmm.
studio with 4 or 5, maximum 5 people, and yeah, and that was everybody had a certain amount of space, and so I divided this big table up for the 4 people, and I had this extra table here,
Mm-hmm.
and that was big enough, and so we did late afternoon, early evening class, and
Right.
with some snacks in between in the other room, and it was really nice.
Oh yeah, I bet. And your location is great. I saw your camera go by a beautiful kind of sarong with
Oh yeah,
a
okay.
kimono with it. It's green and red with the tie dye. Do you want to talk? Yeah. Do you want to talk about that one?
Yeah, this is a tie-dyed kimono. Um, this is a silk that I dyed. I mean, this kind of dye I do myself.
Mm-hmm.
Cheryl does the full color for me. I mean,
Uh-huh.
one color dyed larger pieces, and yeah. So this one was. Is it very loud? This wow, just a motorbike driving by.
Oh,
So yeah, I'm down. So anyway, so this piece I dyed when in a low water immersion dyeing. That means that I pour different dyes over the fabric and let it sit overnight
mm,
mainly, and then I discharge it. I like to discharge fabric, and so then depending on the fabric, I get different colors. Let's say this is a yellowish green, and it also depends on how long I leave it in the discharge bath. And
I see.
for example, this is a pair of pants in
Right.
silk. Well, I dyed this at a different time, and it's much lighter in the color. I mean,
I see.
I can't really, with one hand, I can't really take it off. But these
Can
are, I'll show you more. So
can you explain what you mean by discharge? The dye?
it removes the color. So, and because this is I mean, I call it shibori, this is a fancy name,
Yeah.
but for tie dyeing. And so when I put it in this hot bath, this color remover, then the colors come out. For example, here I have a different piece. So this one was all dyed in one color. Um, it was charcoal. You see the charcoal gray
Yeah.
there on this piece. This is a crinkle chiffon scarf, a lightweight scarf that also not felted. And so this one I then put into the discharge bath.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got a, yeah, what do you call that? A sand, type of sand color.
Mm-hmm.
You never quite know. For example,
what
on
you're
this,
gonna get.
yeah, for example, this is an older piece. This is a photograph of one of my older pieces. And this was also I dyed this, over poured the dye, the black, and black is a combination of different colors. So it can be more a reddish black or a bluish or a greenish black.
Yeah.
I guess this one is more a reddish black. And so I let this sit first and then I discharged it. So you see, other colors come out also. I mean, this one here was dyed in just plain. Actually, Cheryl dyed the gray for me. So you see, it completely reacts completely different. It
Right.
stays. And this one, it brought the red out. You see that?
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. So you don't always know what you're going to get. It's
No,
kind of
not
a
at all.
surprise. Yeah,
And
that's fun.
this is organza. It also depends on the fabric. So this one
Right.
it's also a crinkle chiffon, but yeah, it's different. So this one here, also an earlier piece, is it's an organza, silk organza. So again, and there's a lot of white also. I probably
Yeah.
left it in quite a bit. So it's completely different. Yeah, so you never know what you get.
Which is fun.
Yeah.
So
And then
somebody is asking about the color in your paintings.
oh yeah, really. Okay.
So is it paintings or are they embroideries that you got in on frames
I have
there?
both. I have both.
Oh, you have
I
both?
wanted to
Okay.
show you both. Yeah, I
Okay.
noticed a little bit that when we talked yesterday, um, okay, I'm known for my fabrics, but I've done this for 20 years.
Yeah.
So, and I've wondered for a long time, really, is this still what I'm doing? Or is this still something I'm doing full time? You know yourself. I don't know where you know about your weavings, but you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah, I do. You want to do something different sometimes. So are these the embroideries here? Oh, I think we lost you, Ulrike. Oh, there you are.
Because yeah, it said pause. Sorry about this. So
That's
anyway,
okay.
so this I thought I'd show you, even though it's on glass, under glass, and there is a reflection.
Yeah.
This is something I mean, I have a background as a teacher, and I was, among other subjects, I was teaching textiles. Anyways, and I always, as a young child we always had to make our gifts for birthdays and Christmas for our parents and grandparents by hand. So I did this always since a young age. And one of the things actually that I did when I was a kid, I did a lot of stitching, those little things under a candle for Christmas and stuff. I went and shopping with my mother, triangle, a star with some branches and things. Anyway, so I got introduced to this. And at school, we did some beautiful linen embroidery. Sorry, I don't know. It pauses once in a while here.
It's probably just your internet connection.
It says I'm not using my app. So anyway, so then, I've always on and off have done more of the stitching, or I call it now stitching. I think because I thought it's more modern word for it, what people use. And so this one here, I mean, my grandmother had a big collection of silk threads, with that sewing threads on these little cones. And so, one time she gave me everything, and then I made these pieces, I mean, over a long time. And I kind of took it everywhere, to a friend's house, and we would meet and have coffee or spend the weekend. And then we would do, one friend was painting and I was kind of stitching. Yeah. Last year, and I thought I'd bring it out, when we were in the snow, I have a very simple white, boring linen, what is it here, shirt. And so started, but I haven't gotten that far. I started to embroider with these stitches that are, I feel like, very popular. And I
Oh,
wanted to
that's
try this out.
beautiful.
That. And
Right.
it was also with the idea, first of all, was fun for me, and
Mm.
then as a something in maybe to teach at some time. I haven't gotten there yet, but this is what I did, and I had a lot of fun. But it's huge, and I'm also inspired by these by this Japanese group. What is it called? Nuno or something? I think they are. I don't want to use too strong word, but I don't really know what the right word is. But people that have not all the abilities, and they do incredible shirts. They give shirts and they just stitch and they cover the whole piece.
Oh, wow.
Uh,
And you say that's in Japan, that
yeah,
group? Hmm.
I don't think it's called Nuno.
Maybe post it on your Instagram. That would be interesting to know.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Good. Okay. And then I always wanted to paint, and also the background of painting. I mean, I've done painting on silk, but super many years ago. And so, and I wanted always paint, and this was originally this room here supposed to be my painting studio. Then there
I
was summer,
see.
really busy, and winter. I don't know what happens then. And so during this COVID thing, I was invited to join a group painting for joy on Zoom, and so I did. And actually, I feel very vulnerable to show you this, but you know, everything has to be perfect for me, and then that's a different discussion. So, but you know, yeah. So down here is one too.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so and it was a very safe space. I mean, we didn't really talk very much in the beginning. We didn't know each other. And, this lady, Bettina Madini, first in Costa Rica, and then in where is she now? In Wisconsin. And so she's a painter and also a felt maker, and she paints and puts her paintings on dresses. I mean, printed. She has it printed, and on these leggings and so forth. And so, well, we had a wonderful time, and it's still going.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we're still doing it.
So Ulrike, we have about 5 minutes left.
Oh wow!
I know it goes quickly. Are you able to show us a tiny bit of your work with the tripod? Putting the phone in the tripod?
Yeah. What would you like to see? Okay.
Well, whatever
Here,
you were working on, if you can.
I mean, down here in this room on this table, I put one of my how do you say, my standard Stella, still very well desired pieces, and I thought, well, because the other one is white, I can show you, and I'm going to just click this into the tripod. Sorry about this. Yeah. So let me see. It's all red. Does it work? Let me see.
We can see the ceiling and the window, but
Yeah, see that. Sorry. Sorry, everybody.
I thought maybe you were working on the white piece and we could watch you work for a little bit, but that's
Yeah,
fine.
okay, we can go over to this room. Maybe that's better. Yeah, I mean, at this point, yeah, so I think that would probably work, huh?
Yeah, that'll work.
I mean, first of all, I mean, I have, can you see me now, my
Yes,
hand? Because I
absolutely.
can't.
Yes,
So
we
I
can
can't
see
see
you.
what's going on. So
Yeah,
at
we
least,
can see your hand.
yeah. So, I mean, I did I lay out these, I do, okay, I can also do right hand. You can see it?
Yes, yeah, it's
You
perfect.
can see I lay out the wool really fine first as a layer, crisscross. So because of the shrinkage, that the shrinkage is even.
Yeah.
And then, well, already I call it defuzzing. Defuzzing, do you see it? All these locks.
Yeah.
And these locks, they need to go, they need to kind of, felt into the wool that I laid out. So I place every bit, and I kind of open it up on one side where the cut is of the locks,
Yeah.
and lay these on. And then I have the sorry about this, the this throw-star, silk the gum throw-star. And that's going to be a challenge. I mean, it was okay with a small piece, and I didn't make notes. Yeah, so, and I can't really remember, although it's not long ago.
So
So,
Ulrieke, do you lay out the whole table and then wet it and then roll
yes,
it? Is that what you do?
yes. I have polyester cloth, and I lay out this polyester cloth on top when it's all arranged and when it's all ready. So because, you know, yeah, it will, otherwise it will move. I'm just trying, but it doesn't. It sits.
So the
So
polyester won't stick to the felt, right?
yes,
Is that why you do
yes,
that?
that's why. And then I go with the sponge and with soapy water. I have these bottles of these here. These bottles, this was ivory dish soap.
Right.
And so I save these, and I fill them with water and give them a little squirt of the ivory. And then wet the whole table, roll it all up like a carpet, and let the extra water come out. And then I roll it. I roll it, around 1,000 times or more, and then very slowly the fibers go and interlock with the fabric, and the fabric has to be really gauzy.
So do you do that just once, or do you layer it and do that several times?
Do I do what, layer it? No,
Well,
once
just
I have
once.
it finished, once I have it finished, I then I lay out, then I wet it and roll it. And I can, if it's still pretty fragile. I mean, I unroll it and roll it from this side and roll it from the other side. It needs to be rolled evenly. And I mean, at a point I can, if there is something where I really miss a spot, there's no wool, and let's say I want to practically repair it a little bit, I can still add some wool, and then
You can patch
and
it
then
a little bit.
patch it, and then it will
I see.
still, with some extra tender care,
Yeah.
it will stick. Yeah.
So you really have to be quite consistent in the way you're layering it so that you're not doing a lot of patching. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. It depends. I mean, my pieces tend to be pretty fine, but I'm always admiring other felters that have a different hand. They are maybe looser or something. I don't know, but it's also
Or
a different
denser.
look.
Yeah. Or some
More
felt is very
natural.
dense.
Hmm?
Some felt is very dense, but yours is very feather light with the silk,
Yeah,
right?
it's very light. Yes,
Yeah.
and so I like it, and well, I'm not justifying myself anymore.
Just do what you want, and it sells, so that's great.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
well,
just,
thank you so much, Ulrieke, and
oh, you're very welcome. Thank
I
you for
guess,
inviting me for this, and thank you for
yeah,
everybody.
yeah, it's been
That's
really nice to see you.
where I am tonight.
And since I'm just across the road, I really should come and visit
Yeah,
you.
please come and have a visit.
And so the next Instagram will be Joan Kerrigan, who's a basket maker. And she lives on St. Mary's Lake, and she's going to take us into her studio. So I'm really looking forward to that. That will be it'll be June 24th at 4 p.m., not 7 p.m. So,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. So if anyone wants to join, then they can. And one last glimpse of your studio.
Yeah, so I keep
Beautiful.
moving. Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Ulrieke.
Thank you
Thanks
so
everybody
much.
for joining.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Good night.